Hey, everybody, welcome back to PMS, the Perpetual Motion Squad, a Big Bang Theory fan podcast. And we are your hosts, Big Bang Theory super fans, married couple Cat,
And Paul,
and we are excited to be here tonight,
we are
today,
excited to be
whatever.
first flubble of the
I
podcast. We
have
are
been
not going to cut
working
that
a
out, though.
lot of hours. I've
Yes,
been
she
crewing a
has.
live event for a colleague, and I'm a little tired this
I
morning.
gave her a giant coffee this morning.
And I have my giant water.
Nice, but you've had your giant coffee, and you may need another giant coffee. So
Yeah,
yeah, she's been working very hard.
I
So
have.
if she's a little bit sketty wonkers,
Blah, 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 blah.
exactly. I mean, I'm not wearing my sexy hoochie pants today, so that's okay. It's all good. That's
You're not
fine.
wearing the hot hoochie pants?
Not wearing the hot hoochie pants today. I'm not going to show people what I'm wearing because I could get a strike on YouTube for showing hoochie pants or what
Actually,
you're
you're
not
wearing
wearing
a
hoochie
very
pants.
cool t-shirt.
Yes, I am wearing my I love. Oh God, just stand up. Yes, I wear.
Yep.
I love Sydney
Sydney that we
t-shirt.
got when we went on our first trip, on our first plane trip together.
Yeah, so Sydney. Now,
Yeah.
talking about stuff that's going on. Now, right
Yes,
now, as we all know, we're in the middle of a battle royale.
we are.
Okay. We've had the battle royale going on between New York and New Jersey for quite some time. Now, New York and New Jersey have been fighting it out tooth and nail
hmm
about who
Who's number
is
one?
who's the number one listener.
Yeah.
But there is another state in America that has just gone, all right, to hell with this. We are going to throw our hats in the in the ring. You guys get the hell out of the way. We are coming and we are number one.
And they're famous for the hats.
And they are famous for the hats. That place is Texas.
Texas.
Texas
That's
has
where I bought my cowboy hat.
Texas has overtaken, I mean, absolutely decimated New Jersey, has gone past California, Massachusetts, and New York to claim the number one spot of listeners on our platform.
Okay.
Now, if we want to really know, oh, and I'm really going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons, as they say, the number one place in Texas listening to us is Plano. The second one is Dallas. The third one is San Antonio, and the fourth
Remember
one,
the Alamo?
yes, and the
Been
fourth
there.
one is Fort Worth.
Oh, I
So,
thought Lubbock was on that list.
Lubbock is, oh, we got one, two, three, four. Arlington is five. Irving is six. Prairie,
Pareto.
Paredo, no, Prairie.
Prairie? Okay,
Yeah,
Grand Prairie. Okay.
seven, eight. No, no, they're
Oh,
not on there.
they dropped off since the last
They
time I
dropped off
looked
there.
at it.
Yes.
Okay.
But yes, Plano is number one and Dallas is number two.
Okay.
So yes, I'm
Go
sorry.
Plano.
Sorry, New York for losing your top spot there. But
You
Dallas
can get it
basically,
back.
I mean, New York is probably going to sit there and go, hold my beer. We are going to
And
get
same
this
with
number one.
Jersey.
Yeah, New
Yeah.
Jersey and New York will come and fight it out. But right now, Texas has gone, hey, get the hell out of the way. We're going to come in and we're going to take the number one spot. So
Yep.
well
Okay.
done, Texas, for taking number one spot.
Now, what's odd is that
Hmm.
our YouTube channel seems to be losing momentum.
It is. We've unfortunately lost a listener, and we've also lost a listener through Spotify as well. We actually had 75, we're down to 74. So,
Okay.
but our YouTube channel is rapidly losing watches.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we're
because
gonna
we
keep,
used to get like 40 or 50 views,
yeah. Now
and
we're getting
now we're
like
not
two or
really
three.
getting hardly any.
No.
So I don't know if we want to keep doing the YouTube channel
Well, we're gonna keep. I'm gonna keep it going for the at least the next. I don't know.
season
Next, well, what are we in now? Season episode 17, 18? We're
18.
at 18. Okay,
Yeah,
so
so we're almost done with season
all right,
three.
so we're gonna keep going to the end of season three. Now, if it doesn't pick up, then that's probably where we'll
That's
end.
only 3 or 4 more episodes.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
think three or four we'll actually see. So if by the end of season three our YouTube channel is not picked up, we'll probably end our YouTube channel,
I mean,
unfortunately.
it's not a big deal, but
No.
to put it up there, but if
Yeah.
people aren't enjoying it, then yeah.
Then it's really no use us running it.
Okay.
So, but that being said, we are on season three, episode number 18.
The
The
pants
Pans,
alternative.
Now I'm going to ask you, what did you think about this episode?
It always cracks me up.
I I like this episode. It is not one of my favorites.
It's not a great episode, but but it goes fast.
Yeah. Now, I mean, obviously, have you heard the conspiracy theory about Penny?
What
I
can
think you have. That Penny is actually a CIA operative that actually moved in across from Leonard and Sheldon because they were doing research and the government were worried about what they were getting up to. So they planted
especially
this,
after Joyce Kim?
yeah, so they planted a CIA operative, which was Penny. So Penny is actually working for the government because two physicists living in an apartment who really can't afford to be living singly, but yet a waitress who's able to live in that apartment
Ah,
by
yeah.
herself.
Yeah.
The cover was well, a lot of people are saying, or the conspirators are saying, that the cover was that she was planted in the Cheesecake Factory because that's where they started to go and that's where they'd be freely
But they
talking and stuff
started
like
to
that.
go there because of Penny.
Yeah, but that was the whole thing. The government wanted to make sure that they had kept track of them at all times.
Well,
So
the
other
government
than
would
the
not have been happy that she started to have an affair with Leonard and eventually married him.
No, apparently that was a different scenario. Apparently they were saying that a deep cover operative, if that happened, the government were okay with that because
Oh,
that meant that Penny would still be working for
fully
them,
infiltrated.
fully infiltrated the group.
And she
So
is an actress after all.
yes, and she's able to report back to the government on all Sheldon and Leonard's doings.
I don't know. What do you think of that theory?
I mean, we've all sat around and thought to ourselves, how is it that Penny, and you've done the math about this, how is Penny, a Cheesecake Factory waitress working minimum wage, able to live in that apartment? Now, take out the fact that she's got free Wi-Fi and basically free food. She still has to come up with rent and stuff like that. Now, the times that she's, been short of money and stuff like that, she's somehow made it work,
Yeah.
you know.
And we don't know where she,
So
yeah, because that apartment is not cheap.
yeah, and the fact is that there's been times that she's left the apartment. If you remember when Sheldon and Leonard were moving up the time machine
Yeah.
and she got to work and she lost her shift.
Yeah.
Now, anyone that would lose their shift would be sitting there going, "Oh my God, how am I going to pay for rent?" For some reason, Penny doesn't seem to worry about that too much.
No.
And she's writing bad checks, but she still is able to cover all her
I mean, she
expenditures.
does have moments like in a future episode where she buys the shoes and she's laying on her back with the shoes on saying how pretty they are. And the girls are over and they're like, "Why aren't you, walking on them?" And she says, "Because as soon as they touch the floor, I can't return them."
Hmm.
You
But
know,
that's all
and
part of
and she has that moment where she can't pay her bills and Sheldon lends her the money and she makes
that's
the big deal about the beret that she ordered previously.
but apparently that's all to do with her deep cover training that she's actually able to make it believable and enough that the boys actually think that she's financially hard up when in actual fact she's not. She's a
Okay.
plant in there by the government to make sure that they keep monitoring what Sheldon and Leonard are doing.
Okay.
So there is some conspiracy theories out there, and that's actually a pretty plausible one.
That's
When you
one of the
really
better ones, yeah.
Yeah, when you stop to think about it, that there is a possibility that Penny is an operative.
Except that they're not doing government work until a later episode. I mean, season.
Yeah, but remember that there was the North Korea situation with Joyce Kim, and
Yeah.
you remember how it was that they
They
accidentally
blew
blew
up the
up
elevator.
the elevator. But there are other things that they've been working on, different mathematical equations,
Mm,
that Penny, who's been playing dumb for the longest time, has been feeding this information back to the government, saying this is what they're working on, and apparently another theory, it's not my theory.
hmm.
Another theory is that she's got a photographic memory, just like Sheldon, and when she looks at equations, she can then
Remember them.
remember them, go back to the government, and actually say this is what they're working on, and write out the formula, and they can then study it and go,
Yeah.
no, there's nothing there, or yes, there is, but they've it's to do with the fact that that Leonard and Sheldon are both engaged in
Yeah.
the
Which
stuff that
is
they're engaged.
ironic because Kaylee Cuoco does have an eidetic memory.
Yeah. But this
And
is,
the cast used to get really uh, both awed and annoyed that she could read the script once for the week and know all of her lines.
yeah. Well, that's the same as Jackie Gleason. Jackie Gleason had a photographic memory.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm,
To the
yeah,
moon, Alice, to the
yeah,
moon.
yeah. He only had to look at his script once, and he was done. He was fine. He
Wow,
could
I
do it.
didn't know.
So,
Man, there have been many times in my life that I wished I could do that.
oh God,
But
me
I
too.
wouldn't want to do it for everything in my life like Sheldon does.
I would want to do it for everything in my life. That'd be
I
awesome.
I wouldn't because there's a lot of things that I really just don't want to remember. I
Mm.
remember one time I connected with a friend of mine from high school and he was talking about stuff and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he's like, you don't remember that? And I'm like, no, there's a lot of things about high school and junior high I just blocked out. I
See,
don't
I think I've
remember
got some sort of a photographic memory because I can go somewhere once, and then I know my way back there, even if I haven't gone there
in
six
years.
months a year.
Yeah.
I can easily get in the car, not have to put on the GPS, whatever, to get there. I know
Yeah,
which
you're
way to
kind of
go.
crazy that way.
So I don't know. But the episode opens up where we have got Raj, Howard, and Sheldon, and they're sitting in the cafeteria. Leonard has not joined us, by the way, at the moment. And
Yet.
Raj is going on about the film Avatar. And he was saying that, okay, you know, in Avatar, they use their ponytails to communicate with each other. And they're like, and I was like, yeah.
Well, no,
And
when they have sex.
when they have sex, and he goes, yeah. And also the fact is that they use their ponytails when they are
When
hooking
they ride the horses and
or
when
the
they
flying.
fly the
Yeah.
birds, and they use their ponytail, and the guys are like, "Yeah, so." And he
What's your point?
says, "What's your point?" And he's like, "Well, if I were a horse or a bird, I'd be very unsettled around James Cameron." And I think Raj has a good point there.
He does. He does have a very good point.
Well, and when they connect to the planet as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the next part of this is that Leonard comes in and says that
Actually,
he
weren't they they were watching, oh no,
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 they're in
you're
the
right. Never mind.
cafeteria.
Never mind, yeah.
And so Leonard comes in and says to Sheldon, "Oh, Sheldon, guess what I heard in the Chancellor's office a little while
Happened to
ago
overhear.
happened over here." And he says, "Well, I'm sure you heard a number of things about, the upcoming Chancellor Awards." And he also says about the fact that he's the that's right. He actually says, "No, we
No,
got
that's right.
far
He
more
says to
things
Raj,
worry."
why are you worried about these fictional details when there's much more important things in the real world to worry
Yeah,
about? For example, why wasn't William Shatner in the new Star Trek movie?
exactly. So then this is where this is
Okay,
where Leonard comes in and is talking about what he
guess what I
overheard.
overheard? I overheard the name of the next recipient of the
Yeah,
Chancellor's Award. Now, I would like to point out that
yeah,
Leonard's behavior is highly inappropriate because they
very much.
haven't announced it yet.
Exactly. Yeah,
And you know that when Leonard shares this information, they're going to tell people. And then it's just, that's highly inappropriate.
yeah. And Sheldon comes back with, well, what's self-important
Well,
preening
no,
fraud in the
at first
committee is
he's like, well,
honoring
the one I've been passed over for years because I am the William Shatner
of the scientific.
of the
Yeah,
science department. And so what self-important blowhard are they giving it to this year? And Leonard's like, I'm so glad you put it that way.
you. And he's like, oh, what? And he said, I won. He goes, you won. And he goes, oh, well, that's what. Well, I mean, no one deserves it more than me.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
mean, well,
oh
it's
God, here we
not really a
go.
surprise because no one deserves it more than me, but
And so Sheldon goes, well, what should I do first? Should I call my mother? No, mate, maybe I should. Maybe no. Here's an
I
idea.
know, I'll interview
Interview
myself
myself.
and post it online. And
Yeah.
it's like, that's letting the cat out of the bag,
Yep. Before it's
which is
even announced.
highly inappropriate because nobody should know who's won it until they announce it.
Yeah.
So
And this is
Leonard is being bad.
And I love how Howard comes back with just what the scientific community, the William Shatner of the scientific community needs
An
is an
ego
ego
boost.
boost. The next scene we see is the boys are sitting on the couch and they've got 3D glasses on.
Yep.
Apparently they're watching Avatar in 3D. Well,
Okay, so
everyone
arrow,
except
flaming
everyone's
arrow,
everyone's watching it except Raj because
Raj.
apparently Raj did not want a Slurpee at the 7-Eleven and he didn't get glasses for it.
Okay, now before we go any further on this, because I know
Yeah.
you've got some stuff to say about the television.
Yeah.
Okay, so Leonard, Sheldon, and Howard are wearing anaglyph 3D glasses, but they're wearing them inside out.
They are.
Yep. And they're cardboard, so theoretically they could be worn inside
Okay.
out. Yeah. The glasses are designed to be used with the red filter over the left eye and the cyan filter over the right. And every single one of them has them the other way around.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't think there was that was a
It's a thing.
I'm trying to remember which way I would wear it. So if I'm wearing my glasses, I'm looking at the blue would be on that side and the red would be on that side.
Correct.
So the red
Where,
would be on my right hand
yes,
and blue would be on my left.
correct. They
But they're
had it with
wearing
the
it
red on the
on the
left and
left
the
and the blue
blue
on
on
the
the
right.
right. Yeah, they had them backwards.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought that
Now,
was interesting,
that
actually.
is actually interesting because I didn't pick that up. Um, now the
But
funny thing
what you
about
did
this,
pick up,
yeah, the funny thing about this is that as we all know, us that was around when 3D was first invented and around, is that 3D movies have to be played on a specific like reel and whatever so you can actually see it. Now, they do have 3D TVs. However, if you've got a standard analog TV, you cannot watch true 3D even wearing 3D glasses. It doesn't work.
no,
A friend of mine went and bought herself a $3,500 TV, which was 3D. She only had two movies that she showed me. Um, the glasses that she actually had, you had to power up. You had to charge them up. They were hit and miss, but they were not blue and red. They were just your standard glasses like I'm wearing right now,
yeah.
but you could see it in 3D. I could sort of see it, but not to the extent that you'd see it in like a movie theater.
But
So,
I remember going to see Avatar in the theater in 3D, and my favorite part was when she introduced him to the tree and the little
oh, they were coming down from the
those
tree.
thingies were coming down
Yeah,
that look sort of like dandelion fluff
yeah,
were coming down and landing all over him and stuff. And they were coming down like you felt like they were coming down around you, and and I think I remember actually reaching out and trying to touch one of
that's
them.
cool. I never saw Avatar in 3D
Oh
ever.
man, it was amazing.
Yeah, never saw that. But as I said,
Yeah.
this is the whole thing is an
If
analog
it ever comes
TV.
back to the theater
Oh, I definitely
in
going to go and
3D,
see
we
it.
are going.
Yeah. Um, but an analog TV will not show true 3D. So them sitting there, and of course they're sitting there, and there's an arrow, and Howard goes, "Wow, did you see that arrow? It looked like it was coming straight
Yeah,
for
because
us."
all
And
three of them lean over and they're like,
yeah,
"Whoa!"
and poor old Raj sits there and goes,
No.
"No,
Well, you
you
don't
didn't
want a
want to.
Slurpee, you
You
don't
don't
get the
get glasses."
glasses.
And this is where Sheldon gets a call from Chancellor Morton. And so he's talking.
And as the phone rings, he's like, "Okay, mute." And then Howard's like, "Wait a minute, flaming arrow!" And they all lean over again.
So this is where Chancellor Morton rings Sheldon and says, apparently, by what we hear from Sheldon, is that Sheldon has to give a speech.
Yeah, he's
And he
expected to
goes,
give an
well,
acceptance speech
yeah,
when
and he
he's
goes,
given the
well,
award.
what happens if I don't want to give a speech? And
You
then
don't get the award.
then you hear Sheldon say, so what happens if I don't want to forfeit the award? And he goes, well, you've got that tied up in
Tied
a
up in a
nice
nice
little
little
bow.
bow.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is where we find out that obviously Sheldon hangs up the phone and Leonard's like, problem. And he goes, well, apparently I'm supposed to give a speech at the banquet. And this is where Penny comes in with a cheesecake. Now, she says that
Oh,
she
this is
heard,
disgusting.
I know, she said she heard from Leonard that he won the award and she decided to bring him cheesecake, not because a busboy sneezed on it.
That is disgusting.
Now, any of us who heard that would immediately go, I am
Ew.
not touching that
Mm-mm.
cheesecake.
Well, you notice nobody did eat it.
No, it would just go straight in the bin. It would
Yeah.
be, thanks, Penny. I mean, Penny could have easily
I mean,
said,
in theory, you could cut the top bit off, but ew,
ooh. You just hear that and go, ooh.
ew. Yeah.
And that's the whole thing is that I, no. What Penny could have said was, I heard about your nomination or your win. Congratulations. Here's leftover cheesecake that we did not sell.
Yeah.
Not, oh, by the way, this is a cheesecake and it
That a
wasn't
busboy
because someone
sneezed
sneezed on it.
on.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
But this is where Sheldon says that he is deciding he's not going to accept the award because he has to speak in front of a group of people. And they're like, well, what do you consider a group? And he goes, well, 36 adults
No, he says any group that can trample me. Usual logic says 36 adults or 70 children.
Yeah. And Penny says, well, once apparently once she was actually very scared, because she had to accept an award. But as she said, the world looked very different on a haystack in the back of a Ford F-50 150 Ford
As a
F-150
member of the Corn Queen's
Queen's
Court.
Court. And Leonard and Sheldon goes, well, that's wonderful if I ever get nominated for the Hillbilly
Peace Award.
Peace Award. But this is where Leonard actually thinks that Sheldon is just being ridiculous. And Sheldon then actually goes in to speak about the fact that he became valedictorian of his college when he was 14. And he was
So was
saying,
that Caltech?
I believe that was
I
Caltech.
think it was Caltech.
Yeah, because we know that he went to that he
He
decided
took
to go to Caltech.
classes in Texas,
Yeah, but
but
then
he
his
didn't
father and him,
but at the end of Young Sheldon, he started at Caltech.
yeah, because his father and himself
Yeah.
went on a trip to find out
Yeah.
which best college was, and they went to Massachusetts and they got out with a nor'easter and they went Caltech, Caltech, and
Yeah,
they went
because
there.
ironically, he was considering MIT,
Exactly.
which
And
is
because
why
of
I
the
always find it interesting that he puts Howard down for it because he seriously considered it.
Well, yeah, but remember, if okay, so if Sheldon did go to MIT,
Hmm.
then MIT would have been the only place that you could ever have gone to school.
That's
And
true.
so wherever Sheldon goes, that's the place to
Yeah,
be.
that's true.
So
And I loved that little shout out at in that final scene of young Sheldon
yeah,
when he first arrives at Caltech and the gentleman comes up and says, "Are you lost? Can I help you find something?" And he's like, "No, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be." The gentleman that came up to him was the scientific advisor who helped them with all the equations and everything throughout the 12 seasons.
that's amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was beautiful.
I also heard that over the 12 seasons, at the end of the 12 seasons, not redoing syndications, not doing stuff with his likeness on it, dolls, whatever merchandise, Jim Parsons walked away with $160 million
Just for filming the show.
just for filming the show.
Yeah. And well, the
Or
others weren't that far behind him either. I
no,
mean, they
they
are,
weren't.
but they are behind him. He was by far the most highly paid actor on the
Yeah,
show. But yeah, the others made a crap ton of money there too.
yeah. I mean, in seasons, I think 7, 8, and 9, they were saying that he was earning $1 million an episode, but then in seasons 10, 11, and 12, he took a pay cut to $990,000 an episode. So
Wow.
everyone was in line with what he was earning.
Yeah.
So, but still, $160 million for 12 years work. I can
I could
take
work with
that.
that.
I could work with
I might get by on that.
that. So Sheldon, as he's talking about the fact that he was valedictorian at college and that he had to give a speech, his heart started pounding in his chest. His vision became blurry, and then all of a sudden he's
And all
like,
of a sudden he's like,
"Oh
"Oh
dear!"
dear,"
And he
and
falls
goes.
over and faints on the ground. And Penny and Sheldon run over. Penny and Leonard run
Leonard.
over to attend to him, and you hear Sheldon go, "Don't trample me." So
Oh dear.
the next scene we see is Sheldon's coming back from wherever he's coming back from. He's walking up the stairs and he's on
He
the phone to
bought a
his mum.
comic book.
Right, and he's on the phone to his mum. And his mum says, they're talking about something, and he goes, "No, mother, I have not heard Jesus take the wheel," which
Well,
is a great
okay.
song.
So they're talking about the speech.
Yes.
And he's like, "You know why I can't do that, mother?"
Yeah.
And no, I don't think praying would help.
And no, I
No, I
haven't.
haven't heard the song Jesus Take the Wheel.
Good song.
Fine, yeah, it's a great song. Fine, mother, I will buy it on the iTunes. Which reminds me
Good.
of how my mom used to always say,
Put it on the
did
iPad.
put it on the iPad. Yeah.
So Sheldon comes into the apartment after he hangs up from his mum, and there is Leonard, Howard, Raj, and Penny all sitting there waiting for him. And he walks in, he's like, "Hello," and he's like, "Did my mother call you? Am I in trouble? Did my mother call you?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, no, sit down. We want to talk to you." And they say that there is things that we could do to help you get more confident. And he says, "Okay, well, what could you do for me?" And Penny says, "Well, I could take you out and get you a new suit to build your confidence."
Well, before that, um, they say, well, and he's like, "I don't need help because I'm smarter than you."
Yeah.
And Penny's like, well, not smarter than all of us combined. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, that was what
That's
I
it.
meant.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, the point is you don't have to do this by yourself.
Yeah.
Just like Professor Xavier had his X-Men. And she turns around and she says, did I say X-Men? He's like, yeah, we watched it last week. You said you liked it. And she's like, oh, I say a lot of things, sweetie. Um, but and he's like, the X-Men. Well, seeing
I
as
do
that,
like X-Men.
yeah, I do like the X-Men. And he says, pardon me, that they people tend to think that the X-Men were named for the X, and this is what Sheldon says for the X
Hmm.
and Professor Xavier. So seeing as I'm Sheldon
No, 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 no,
Cooper,
not there. We're not there yet. Not there yet.
yeah, we are, because
No,
they talk about the superpowers after this.
no, they don't, because he walks away after he says that. And Howard says, "Oh, give it. I'm getting to that. I knew you were going to jump ahead of that." He says, "Okay, well then, if you're going to help me, then and you've got superpowers, then what could you help me with?" And Penny says, "Well, I can take you to get you a new suit." And he goes, "Well, that's high. That's not really a superpower, but okay." And then we hear that he says to Leonard actually says, "Well, I can, I can psychoanalyze. I can, give you some ideas of why you're getting this block." And he goes, "Okay." And then Raj whispers something to Howard. And Howard goes, "Oh, some sort of Indian meditation crap." And he says, "Okay, well then, out of all the people, then you must have been left till last because you must have the best idea. So dazzle me." And Howard goes, "Oh, my superpower is that I give a damn about your problem." And that's 24/7s, bud. And he goes, "Oh, okay." He goes, and so this is where Penny says, "So, Sheldon, are we your X-Men?" And Sheldon goes, "No. A lot of people think that," and go ahead and tell it.
No, that's all right. Go for it.
Because he says a lot of people believe that that is the X in Professor Xavier. So my last name is C in Cooper, so you will be my Seaman, and walks away. And this is where Howard looks at the everyone else and goes, "Oh, that's not a good name."
Now,
It's not.
the point is,
Yes.
after I was so rudely interrupted,
Mm-hmm.
that the group was named. So everybody tends to think that it's what Sheldon said, that that's for the X in Professor Xavier.
Hmm.
However, in the X-Men #1 comic book, Professor Xavier says they possess an extra power, one which ordinary humans do not. That is why I call my students X-Men, for extra power.
Oh, I did not know that.
Hmm. So technically, it is a character mistake that Sheldon is wrong, but I believe it's more likely deliberate on the part of the writers to set up the Seaman punchline.
I honestly thought that X was
Mm-mm.
from Professor
No,
Xavier.
it's because they have extra powers
That
and
is
they are
so
extraordinary.
that is so weird. I honestly thought X was for Xavier,
Nope,
not extra powers.
nope.
So if you've got the
That's a
ability,
coincidence.
so if you've got if you've got the ability to walk through a wall, that's your regular power. What would be your extra one that you
No,
could?
that is the extra power because normal people can't do that.
Hmm,
It's what
that's a
makes them
gray.
extraordinary.
That's a gray area. I'm sure there's a
No,
lot
it's
of nerds out
not.
there that are saying that makes because if you've got like okay, so if you've got Wolverine that's been born with bone claws,
Hmm.
well, that's his superpower,
Yeah, that's what makes him extraordinary.
but that's not an extra power. Yeah, it's I don't know,
No, it is an extra. Okay, can you do the bone claw thing?
not at all.
Can you walk through walls?
I hope not.
Can you have eyes that are that burn things down?
No,
Can you fly?
only my dreams.
Can you teleport?
Only my dreams.
Those
Then there's
are
extra power.
extraordinary powers that normal people like you don't have. That's
Uh-huh.
what makes them X-Men.
Well, that is actually an interesting scenario because I've never heard that. I didn't. I thought it was. I
Well, go read
assumed.
X-Men #1.
Well, I'm sure that'd be very expensive comic book to buy, but yeah, I honestly thought that was to do the Professor Xavier. Okay,
Nope.
so the next scene we see is Sheldon is sitting in his living room with Raj, and there he's going to conduct a guided meditation for Sheldon to basically help him overcome his fears. And he goes, okay. And so Raj says, okay, find a place that gives you peace. And we find that Sheldon's place to
X-Men
give him
#1
peace.
is not as expensive as you might think.
Okay. Sheldon's place that he finds peace is Sim City. However,
Sheldonopolis.
Sheldonopolis is the one that he likes. And he goes, okay, so,
And
and he goes,
I mean, Raj is trying to be so
no,
patient with
he
him,
is really
and
patient.
Sheldon is making this as absolutely difficult as possible.
Yeah, because he says, okay, so we're in Sheldonopolis, and he goes, well, where would I be there? And he gives a list of places, including Sheldon Square. And Sheldon and Raj goes, okay, you're in Sheldon
I
Square,
don't
and he
care
goes,
anywhere. And he's like,
yeah,
well, no, I have to be somewhere. And
I
he's
thought
like,
this
all
was a
right.
guided meditation.
Yeah. And he's like, all right, Sheldon Square. He's like, really? This time of year? It's a bit
Bit,
nippy.
yeah. And he goes, okay, well, I don't know. Well, and he goes, I better go and get a sweater. I'll go down to Shellmart and get a sweater.
Because I own it, I get 15% off. And Raj is like, you own the place, just take one. And he's like, well, I didn't turn a profit last year just by taking products willy-nilly off the shelves.
And he goes, okay, you've gone and bought a sweater now, and you put it on. And
And
he's
he
like,
goes to
hey,
try and continue. And Sheldon's like, well, wait a minute, it's a cardigan. I have to button it up.
and he goes, okay, you're in Sheldon Square. Then Sheldon goes, oh no, there's a Godzilla coming and attacking the city. People of Sheldonopolis,
Run!
run!
If the children can't keep up, leave them behind.
And you hear there's a slam of the door.
Oh, I didn't hear the
Oh no, no!
slam.
First of all, when Raj says, "Okay, close your eyes," and Sheldon goes, "Okay, but don't punch me,"
Don't punch me. He's like,
and he
what do
goes,
you
"Why would I
mean?
punch you?"
And he says, well, my when I was a child, my sister used to say, close your eyes, you'll get a surprise, and she'd punch me. Which doesn't, I can see Missy
That
doing
is,
that.
yeah. I was not a shit of a brother, so I'd never
My
do that.
brother would have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So eventually, when Sheldon is trying to get his citizens to safety in Sheldonopolis, you hear a door close, and this is where he opens his eyes up, and Raj is nowhere to be seen. And this is where Sheldon's sitting there, and he's like, "Just what I thought, hokum." Now,
Meditation is hokum.
one thing I found interesting is that Raj has lit 4 candles. The light in that apartment would not illuminate that much.
No, it wouldn't.
It was very, very bright in that apartment. So the next scene we see is, and the next person that's up to help out Sheldon is Penny. And Penny is going to take him clothes shopping. As far as a new suit to
And
try and
he's
give him
like, I don't
confidence.
understand how you think a new suit is going to give me confidence. And
Yeah.
she says, well, every time I'm feeling down, I'll buy myself a cute top or a fun skirt, and it gives me a whole new lease on life.
Hmm.
And Sheldon's like, well, don't you just realize that you're the same sad person in a fun top or a
New skirt.
new skirt? And she's like, well, yeah, that's when I go buy shoes.
That is such a Penny answer.
It's such a Penny answer.
That is a
Yeah.
Penny answer.
Although I do have to agree with Penny, it does make you feel fabulous when you've got a new outfit that makes you look nice.
Yes.
Like when I bought my dress to go for to the awards
Yes,
last year.
you look amazing.
Yeah.
So
Although the
this
fact that my business is up for several more awards, I might have to buy a couple new outfits just so I don't wear the same thing to everything.
Yes. Accepting all these awards in the same outfit is going to
Would
cause
look bad.
people, the social circles be sitting there going, does she have the money that she's claiming? So Penny says, here, try this on, and gives him a black suit. And he goes, that's just one color. And he looks at the tape and he goes, that's very expensive for one color.
Yeah.
And she goes, just try it on. Now we see that
Well,
the
no,
the,
first she says, well, okay, then fine,
then
pick
you
out
pick out
something that
something.
you like.
The camera then switches as if it's switching over to another area, but it's the same area. And Sheldon goes, this looks wonderful.
Well, and he comes out of the
Ah,
dressing room.
God help us. It is the
Yeah.
worst plaid suit I have ever seen in my life.
With a horizontal striped shirt and vertical striped shirt and a
Yeah,
horizontally striped tie.
yeah.
It's clashing all over the place.
Because he says, I think we found the one. And she's like,
No, you haven't.
no, you haven't. So he walks away and he goes, and he comes out and he says, "Oh, this is the one." And he walks out, and it's a green suit, but it's like a very it's
It's
like a
it's
high-end cowboy suit, isn't it?
it's like the Electric Horseman, or
Y-
what was it? The Electric Cowboy,
The
the
electric cow, yeah,
cowboy, where it's got sparkles up and down the lapels, on the legs, on
like
the
the
back of the
rhinestone cowboy.
jacket. Rhinestone cowboy, thank you.
Rhinestone cowboy.
Um,
It's
the
green.
back of
It's
the
got the
jacket.
big
Oh,
belt buckle. It's got the. I mean, look.
it's
I mean, it,
hideous.
it looks amazing. I would wear it. It looks really cool.
I would not
I
be seen with you if you wore that.
I love the gold belt buckle. That looks amazing.
I
Um,
didn't even see the belt buckle because I was so blinded by the rest of it.
now, she goes no. So he walks back into the dressing room and he comes in. He goes, I think we found the one. And he walks out in a all white tuxedo. And Penny
With
says,
tails.
where the hell did you get that? And he says, it was in the prom department.
Yeah.
Now you said something about the color.
Yeah, well, I'd like to point out that he pitched a fit when Penny showed him a suit that was one color,
Hmm.
and two of the three suits that he tried on are one color, are monochromatic. One was
Well,
green, one was white.
yeah, but the green one actually had the gold flexes on it.
That doesn't matter. It's
Would
still
he?
basically one color suit.
Yeah, because the white tuxedo that he comes out with, it's a white pants, white shirt, white bow tie, white jacket. It
And
is,
white
and
vest
white shirt. Yeah, and it is
and
all
shoes.
white. Yeah, and so this is where she says, please, just try this one on, the black one.
Yeah,
He walks in and he comes out and he looks amazing.
he really does. He looks
Except he
so
comes,
handsome.
except he says I look like a clown, which no, you don't,
Yeah,
because the plaid one you made you look like a
like a
clown.
clown.
The
Yeah.
the prom one made you look a little bit like a clown.
Well, no, I mean,
I
he
mean,
actually
it
looked
looked
very handsome in it, but it
yeah,
was
but
inappropriate for the event.
yeah, so no, but it looks like we've already got our suit. It looks like that we're going to go with the black suit. So the next scene we see is up next is Leonard. Now I said that Leonard should have really because Leonard wants to psychoanalyze Sheldon.
Yeah.
I would have actually got his mother because his mother is close to Sheldon. I would have actually got her to talk to Sheldon rather
Except
than
that
him.
Leonard wants to be part of this, and that would have cut him out.
But he's not a trained psychotherapist. If we're going to try
Well,
and get Sheldon over the anxiety of being in a large crowd, I would have actually gone to his mother and said,
but as Leonard pointed out, I've been in therapy since I was a child, and my
since I was
mother
breastfeeding
accused me of
codependent.
breastfeeding codependently.
Yeah,
So he does have reason to believe that and experience that could help justify himself.
yeah,
But considering the relationship that he has with his mother, the last thing, I mean, yes, she would do it because it's Sheldon,
yeah.
but he doesn't need that kick in the face.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at it, he would contact his mother and say, "Mother," and and she would be like, "Well, I'm actually busy right now, but it's for Sheldon. Okay,
Yeah.
I can spare a few
And we
minutes."
don't need
And
that.
yeah, but the fact
I
is
hate
that
that woman.
in this scenario, I would have actually approached his mother
I
because
wouldn't.
his mother is a psychotherapist. She could actually help Sheldon overcome his fear of talking in public.
Yeah, but we hate Beverly.
I Yeah, I'm not going to go down. I'm not gonna poke that animal. I'm going to keep
Yeah,
that
especially
quiet.
because I'm right. Beverly is a hideous person and a terrible mother.
Anyway, Leonard starts to try and interpret Sheldon's dream, discusses the standard ink blot test and the Adler inferiority complex. And Leonard actually thinks subconsciously that he doesn't deserve the award. It's
Well,
like,
and that's actually true. A lot of
yeah,
times when people are given an award, they feel like imposter syndrome, basically,
hmm,
where they're not sure that they actually deserve
deserve
the
it.
award. So
Yeah.
yeah, so Leonard tells the story of how he did a science project and won an award for it, and apparently in front of the entire room of the school and everybody in it.
Hmm.
She just said it was a rehash of his older brother. So he was doing Do Lima Beans grow better when exposed to classical music. And
Yeah.
his brother did a Do Lima Beans not grow when they're exposed to rock music. And it was just a rehash of her brother's thing in front of freaking everybody.
Mm,
She made him feel so bad and shamed him so hard that he gave back the award.
yeah.
What kind of parent does that?
Mm,
God,
I
I
know.
hate that woman.
So basically, the session dissolves into Sheldon discussing how Leonard is
Yeah,
still angry at his
psychoanalyzing
mother.
Leonard.
Yeah, and reducing Leonard to tears, you know. And I love it how Sheldon feels like he's cured because as he says to Leonard, if you can crawl out of bed
If
every
someone as
morning
broken
as
as
you
you,
can crawl out of bed every morning, then I can speak to a room full of people.
and
Thank
Sheldon
you.
walks out, and Leonard's like, but I thought we had a whole hour.
Don't need a whole hour for that scenario. The next scene we see is now we're at the banquet. And Leonard is introducing Sheldon. First of all, he reads a letter that his mother sent to Sheldon
Isn't
because she
that
was
nice? His
because
mother
she,
sent a letter. She's proud of him. I wonder what that's like.
because obviously his mother couldn't be there this night. And Sheldon starts getting nervous. And Penny says, "Here, have some of this." And she's got a glass of wine, half a glass of wine. And he says, "Alcohol?" And because he first of all, he goes, "I'm going to faint." And she goes, "Here, try some of this." And he goes, "Alcohol? No, I don't drink alcohol." And she goes, "Okay, faint then." So then he grabs the glass.
I'd like to point out though
Yeah,
that she's been drinking out of this glass.
yeah.
The second glass she gives him, Howard has been drinking out of.
hmm
Cooties.
I know, but his nerves are just overshadowing that whole
Yeah,
thing.
but
I
the
first
writers
thought
forgot
that,
about the germ
yeah,
phobia.
because I first saw that, and I'm like, hang on a minute, you're drinking out of Penny's and Howard's glass. You would run a mile from that.
Yeah,
But right now, his anxiety level is through the roof. He doesn't care what he drinks, as long as he drinks something to try and
to
calm
get him
his nerves
through.
down. So he downs Penny's glass
Yeah.
of wine and goes, this wine's defective. It's not working. She goes, "Here, try this one," and he gives him another half glass of wine, and he downs that.
Now
Now,
we
we then go over to Leonard, who
yeah,
is
we go
still
back
on
to
the
Len
podium.
who we go back to Leonard, who is saying, if you want to talk nurture and relationships, I'd like to point out that my brother is 6 inches taller than me.
hmm But I digress.
But I digress.
And then you hear, "I'm
I'm
ready."
ready.
And he goes, "Okay, this year's winner of the Chancellor Award and my good friend, you know,
Dr. Sheldon Cooper.
Dr. Sheldon Cooper." So Sheldon comes out. Now he's holding a bottle of wine. So he's
And
been
puts it
swinging
down
away.
on the lectern and says, "Okay, Shorty, I'll take it from here."
Oh my God. So then
Ah,
he starts telling jokes, which
they're
is
actually
not,
pretty good.
they are pretty good, but they're not going
Ah.
down well in
No, the
this.
audience is just looking at him like, "What kind of idiot are you?"
And then he says, "Let's get serious," and does this really serious face, at the group. And his words is, "Why are we all here? We're scientists. Why are we here? To study the universe." And then he breaks into a song.
And what is the universe made up of? And
Yeah.
the song that he sings at the award ceremony is The Elements by Tom Lehrer and Arthur Sullivan. It is a recitation of the elements sung to the tune of Major General's song from the Pirates of Penzance.
Yep.
It's actually on Lehrer's album, Songs and More Songs by Tom Lehrer.
Is it on the iTunes?
It probably is on the iTunes. And as he is singing, at one point, he's like, "Come on, just the Asians."
And Penny gives this
Yeah,
this
Penny
facial
gives this
expression.
shocked look like,
Like,
I
"Oh
can't
my God,
believe
he
you
said
just said
that."
that.
Yeah.
But if you look over her shoulder, you see an Asian woman who was not singing but starts singing when Sheldon calls for it.
That is awesome. I
Yep.
love that.
And it's the first time in the series when Sheldon knowingly and intentionally starts drinking alcohol.
Yeah. Well, as I said, his nervousness of standing in front of a crowd, everything else is secondary. He needs to try and get this under control. He doesn't care how he does it. He just needs to get this to the point where he can he can actually speak in front of everybody and get this over and done with. So if he is drunk off his ass, then that's the best
Then
way to
that
get
gets
it
him
done.
through.
It
Fine.
gets him through.
Yep.
The last scene we see of this episode is the following morning.
Leonard and Penny are having coffee in the kitchen. And I love how Sheldon walks out completely disheveled, still wearing his suit, except he doesn't have pants on.
Hmm.
And he walks out and he's like, um, could you answer some questions for me about last night? And they're like, yeah.
And Penny's like, "Sure."
And he's like, let's start with where are my pants?
And Leonard goes, "You might want to check YouTube." And he goes, "What do I
What? He's
search?"
like, don't worry, it's all queued up. Just
Just
press
press
play.
play.
And there's a video. What was it called? Physicist
Physicist melts
melts
down
down.
by
It's
Raj
it's
Koothrappali.
on YouTube, and it says it's posted by Raj Koothrappali.
Yeah. There's also another one underneath that called what?
No, it's
Physicist.
Physicists Gone Wild. It's when Leonard and Sheldon are supposed to be doing the paper together,
And I
and
think it,
he's trying to force squeeze his
yeah.
head. Yeah.
And I think that one is posted by Raj Koothrappali as well.
No, that was Howard.
Oh, Howard? Oh, okay.
Except that it actually is posted by somebody else, that
Oh,
particular
okay.
video.
Yep.
But I just love the fact that this one is posted by Raj Koothrappali.
Yep.
Yep.
So what is happening?
So he's very drunk at this point, and he starts talking about physics and how he wants to take his pants off over his head, but he can't because his body's in the way. So we take them off by going around the body. And then if you pay close attention,
Yeah.
when Sheldon is watching himself on YouTube, you can see him mouth the words, of course not, as he says it on the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as he's watching this, he's like, good Lord. And he goes, I can't watch anymore. Tell me it doesn't get any worse. And Leonard goes, Just give it a moment." And he says, "Okay, for those astronomers in the audience, get ready to see the dark side of the moon." And of course, Penny and Leonard are already cracking up. And then you hear Sheldon go, "And here's Uranus." And they absolutely break into hysterics, implying that he is basically moon the entire audience. The episode goes black, and that is the end of the episode. I mean, it is a very fast episode because there's so much going on in this episode. Yeah, it's just, I mean, think to yourself, everybody. Okay, think to yourself if you did that at your place of work. How the hell are you going to go in say it was a Friday night. How the hell are you going to go in there Monday morning after doing that? I mean, my first thought was maybe Sheldon could resign and go somewhere else because literally having to get up out of bed, get dressed, go to work that the next day or after the weekend and face everybody that you've done. Because he even says about the fact that he actually doesn't take geologists as a real science.
Yeah. Well,
He
well,
says,
he's
"Oh,
like,
I'm
and we
kidding
have
the
we have some university luminaries in the audience. For example, there's Dr. So and so of the geology department. He loves it when people take his work for granted.
Yep." And he goes,
And
"Oh, I kid the geologists only because I've got no
I have no respect for the field.
yes." It's like, oh my God.
Which is interesting because he did think about becoming in young Sheldon we learned that he did think about going into geology at one point, and there was a girl that he had a crush on that he thought would, was who was really into geology, so he thought that could be cool, and then she broke his heart, so he decided geology is not a real science.
Was that Paige?
No,
I don't
that
know. I didn't think
was
it was Paige.
the black girl
Oh,
that used to,
yes.
and then when they were looking when he and Tam were looking to go to some thing in Dallas and she was going to drive, she's like, don't worry, I babysit little kids all the time, I'm very responsible.
And that's when
And that's when
he,
he realized that she saw him as a
as a
child, not
child,
as a peer.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
broke
And
his heart,
that's,
and he decided geology was crap.
yeah, that's
Yep.
understandable. Yeah, as I said, it is a good episode. It's not in my top
No,
20. It's in my top 50 maybe. Um, but it is quite a
it
fun,
was fun.
it is a fun episode. So what is our food count this week?
Caltech lunch one,
Wow.
and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a pretty food light episode.
Now, do we have any, what was our question for the week?
We're all convinced of something about ourselves that everyone else disagrees with. So, what's yours? Is it a trait, a look, a habit, anything where your own opinion of yourself doesn't match what other people actually tell you?
Hmm. Okay. I have to think about that one for a while.
Oh, the fact that you're smart and funny.
Might be funny, not smart.
Yeah, you are. You
Well, I
married
mean,
me, didn't
I
you?
married you. That's the only thing that I'm.
That shows good judgment on your part.
Yeah, that
But
does.
then
But
again, you also married your ex-wife, so.
there we go. Intellectual disability.
But you know, you've grown, you've learned.
Well, that's true,
Yeah.
but I had a disability back then.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
I definitely had a disability back then. And the good thing about it is that I look at the analytics and because people think that I don't see the analytics of where people are listening to me. As we've just pointed out, Texas is listening to us and they are the number one. I looked
For
through
the moment.
Massachusetts. I looked through the Massachusetts and my ex-wife's state is not there, so I don't
Mm.
doesn't matter. So I'm fine
It's
with the
not
fact
her
that she's
state,
not.
it's my home state.
Yeah, but it's the fact that she's not listening where where she lives is not anybody that's listening from where she's living. So
Yeah.
we're good with that one. But yeah, I don't know. That's a pretty yeah. I'd have to think about that question.
Yeah.
So if you want to email us, perpetual motion squad 00, that's number 00 at gmail.com. You can also answer us on the page in the group, usually on the
Not in the
page.
group, on the
No, on the
page.
page.
Yeah.
Or on the you can just send us
In
directly
the
a
show
message
notes.
on the show notes
Yep.
in Spotify, or you can message us on YouTube as well.
Yep. Exactly.
But as I said, we're going to keep monitoring the YouTube channel for about the next 3 weeks. And if we're not seeing the numbers rise the way they have been, then we might be scrapping the YouTube channel and just doing the audio. So we'll
On
see
the
how we go.
Spotify.
Yeah, just on Spotify or wherever you listen to
On the
podcasts,
Spotify.
including TuneIn. We are back
Yeah.
on TuneIn and we
Yep.
are on Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to us, we're around.
So make sure you like and subscribe so that you
Yeah,
get reminded every time a new episode drops. And tell all
absolutely.
your friends that love Big Bang to come and join us and like and subscribe.
And if you really like us, I mean, Bao Chica Wawa like us.
You mean especially with my birthday coming up?
Exactly. Kat's birthday is in. Let me get this thing.
About 3 weeks.
We are in, we're in June. Wow.
But
So next week, so
it's
next week,
July. July 4th is next
y-
weekend.
next Saturday is okay. So you've got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, Kat is going to be very fine. So we're not going to tell you what age that she is.
Uh,
However, if you, it is next
oh my
week
God, it is 2 weeks. I thought
is
it
two
was
weeks.
3.
Nope, 2 weeks
Oh
next
dear.
week. Yep.
Actually, it's 3 weeks from tomorrow, but who's counting?
Anyway, the fact is that it is very, very close. So if you really like Kat, as much as we all do, you can always send her a coffee because I could take her out and get her a free coffee bought by you, I should say,
Yeah.
to celebrate her birthday. So if you really want to give us something nice for Kat's birthday, you can always click on the link at the bottom of the show notes on Spotify, and that'll take you through to the PayPal area,
Yeah,
and you
so
can.
though in the about section of the Facebook page, the Facebook group, dropped into the show notes for
Mhm,
both the audio and YouTube versions
mhm.
is our PayPal me link, and we always deeply are grateful for when people choose to say we love what you're doing. We want to help support you because especially because you don't do advertising.
No,
So
we don't
thank
do
you. Here's a coffee.
Patreon. No,
Yeah, yeah, we
we won't
don't
do
do
any of
that.
that.
Yeah,
No.
one of my favorite YouTube channels when it's not Patreon, but it's similar.
Mm,
He dropped a video on his regular channel saying season 3 is here, yay! But you have to go pay to watch it, and it's like seriously, dude,
yeah, that's the
not
members only
happy.
area.
Yeah, and we refuse to do that. We don't do any advertising except to
No.
say that it's brought to you by Oops, which is one of my businesses.
Yeah.
And it's an app for when you get into a car accident to
Mm,
help walk you through it so that you are able to process your insurance claim quickly and easily without a lot of drama and stress and forgotten information.
yeah.
It's the app you have on your phone and hope you'll never need, but are very glad to have it if you do.
Yeah.
There's
But
all
other than that, we don't
okay,
do anything
so
else.
that if you want to check it out, the link will be in the show notes. And if it's not in your country yet, back it up a little bit to put it back. It's still there. It's still fuzzy, but anyway, um, if if it's not in your country yet, there is a link to get on the waiting list so that you'll be notified when it releases in your country because it is going international. It might take a little while, but it is going to go international.
Mm.
So,
And it's just one of those things. The app is just when you put it on your phone, if you do need to use it, it'll take a lot of the stress out of the
yeah,
accident.
it takes away that, oh, because when you've been in an accident, your brain shuts down.
Mm,
Even a minor
it
fender
does.
bender is a traumatic incident.
Yeah.
And this takes away all the guesswork of what you need to do. It literally holds your hand and walks you through it step by step.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we
it's pretty
don't,
awesome.
other than that, which you've just heard, we don't advertise. We don't have a
Nope.
members only area. We don't have a Patreon area where you can only listen to us if you pay. The only thing we say is if you love us, is
Send
that
us a copy.
if you would like to send us a coffee, that's fine. And with Kat's birthday, what better way to celebrate her birthday than to send her a coffee?
Well, thank you, honey.
There we go.
Okay, so pardon me, I'm also going to do a bonus question this week. Do you
Okay.
think Penny is a deep cover CIA operative reporting on Sheldon and Leonard? There will be that
Yes,
on the page as well.
I firmly believe that.
And you can answer these questions um, ideally on the Facebook page. And while you're there, follow us and subscribe to the group, join the group,
But you can
because,
also, if you want to, if you want to answer this through the comment section of Spotify, you can do that as well. That's
or
not a
YouTube.
problem. Or YouTube, yeah.
And, or you can email us
Mm. Yep.
at, go for it.
Perpetual Motion Squad 00 at gmail.com.
Cool. Now, Chuck Lorre Productions number 282.
Mm.
We are often accused of using a laugh machine on the Big Bang Theory. And if you watch this on the video, you'll see an image of audience members.
Yep.
And he says, "This is our laugh machine."
This is yeah, there is a live audience. I remember for all of us who are old enough to remember Happy Days,
Mm,
they always used to say, this episode is filmed before a live studio audience.
yep.
They wanted to make sure that there was no possibility that people were thinking that Happy Days was filmed with a laugh
Well,
track.
I was watching, or not watching, I was reading, and I think I posted this in the Facebook group. So this is a reason to want to join the Facebook group is Paul posts, I post a lot.
She does.
And I post trivia behind the scenes things about Big Bang Theory. I also post other things from the nerdverse. Like Star Wars is coming up on its 50th anniversary, so there's a lot of really cool behind the scenes stuff coming out about Star Wars. So I'll post that in the group because it is related. It's
That's
something
next year,
that
isn't it?
huh?
That's next year, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
2027.
I find it interesting that they're actually bringing the original theatrical release back to the theaters next year. And a lot of fans are really excited about it because there's been so many tweaks and new versions of it with CGI and this and that
Yeah.
that's come out since the technology started to catch up with the filmmaking.
Mm.
And the original cut, a lot of people haven't even seen.
Yeah. I've seen the original cut, definitely, but I'd love
I
to see it
saw it in the
again.
theaters at least twice. I forget how many times I went when I was a kid. I remember there was one guy in the town where I grew up who had seen it so many times that the theater gave him a free pass to come back as many times as he wanted to because he'd already paid them so much money to watch it. He'd
Wow.
seen it like over 50 or 60 times in the
That's not
theater.
bad. That
Yeah.
is not bad.
And
Sounds like me with Nightmare on Elm Street.
yeah, well. Um, so anyway, they're bringing out the non-remastered original theatrical cut of Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, but it was before it was ever called Episode 4, A New Hope. It was just Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I find it interesting that that they're bringing it out on February 19th, I believe,
Mm.
when the actual anniversary of the release of Star Wars was something like May 25th.
Yeah.
You would think that they would re-release it on the actual
Yeah.
anniversary.
Exactly.
And I
I don't
have to
know.
admit, I wouldn't mind going to see that in the cinema to see the original
Yeah. Me
movie
too.
again.
I'd like to see that because I never saw the.
Or at least get my hands on a DVD of the actual original version and bring it to the home cinema.
Well, apparently George Lucas has got the only original copy, so I'm guessing he's the one that's releasing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely want to go and see that for sure. Oh, by the way, they got the pre-orders now for GTA 6
What has
now
that got to do
available.
with anything? Oh,
I
that's
just
right. The
want
boys do play GTA. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I just want all the guys to know in America, and I'm speaking to the people in America right now, that if you think $100 for a game is very expensive, try 159.99 here in Australia,
I'd like to point out that 159 here in Australia is the equivalent of about 99 in America.
which is exactly what they're actually putting
Hmm.
for American pre-downloads for GTA 6.
Yep.
So I am paying an extra 59.99 for the same game that you've got for the
Yay,
same download.
currency conversion.
Yeah.
Yay.
So I'm paying basically I'm paying $160 for a game that you're paying $100 for. So
It works out nice when I have American clients and they pay me in USD.
yeah,
That works out nice for me, but it sucks when I have to buy stuff over there.
yeah. So I don't want to hear anybody complain about $100 for a game that you are pre-downloading. I will eventually get it and download it, but I'm paying $160. You guys are paying 100, so
Okay,
no complaints.
on that happy note,
Yes,
we thank you again for joining us today. We're always grateful to have you follow along with us as we discuss the Big Bang Theory.
absolutely.
Yeah, so much for keeping this short, sharp, and shiny.
Oh, we sharp and shiny it as close as we could.
So don't forget to answer the question, like and subscribe wherever you listen to us. Make sure to follow the page and join the group so you can have fun with us in the conversations.
Send Cat a coffee.
And we're going to join you next time for season 3, episode 19, The Wheaton Recurrence. So it's the first time we get to meet Will Wheaton on the show.
Not the Wesley Crushers, but the Wesley
Yes,
Crushers.
Crushers. Yep, I want that shirt.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Well, I think you can buy it actually.
I'm sure you can
Yeah.
somewhere.
So, anyway, take care of yourselves. Keep Rachel in your thoughts because she's getting close to having her baby.
Yep, we've got the cameras all set up, ready to go. I've got the microphones ready. I want a first-hand interview with the baby as soon as it comes out to discuss how we are looking at things. It's all
Uh-huh.
ready to go.
Okay. Yes, you can hear me roll my eyes and facepalm myself.
Yes, I
I
know.
guess he's lucky that we're not in the same room recording this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've got a wall separated between me just to keep me safe.
But anyway, we will see you next time. And in the meantime, we will catch up with you at the Cheesecake Factory.
Bye, everyone.
No Barney butts.